out more and take your browser over to supertalktv.com. You'll see I'm not alone. I am joined by Scott Burns, who is a frequent flyer here on Good Things, particularly when he's getting up, and I do mean up, to some good things with his 7 days for the troops. So, hey, Scott.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I can't remember what year it makes you coming back here on Good Things to talk about what you do with 7 days for the truth, but this is your 16th annual event. So how's it going?
It's actually going really well. We were able to kick off this year's 7 Days for the Troops event by actually providing a all-terrain track wheelchair to a veteran, which was our goal for this event this year, was to be able to provide a chair. And because of the sponsors that came on board to help put the event on, I had enough extra left over that we went ahead and purchased the chair and surprised him with it on Sunday.
So let's talk about that chair. You made it, you said big words, and it sounds really nice, but unless you've actually seen the chair, which I think you may be able to show us the chair, or you sent us a great photo of the chair that I will share. Tell us a little bit more about it. Like, walk me through why this chair is special. Well, you know.
Oops,
you
I
back?
Lost you. But are you back?
There
yeah,
you go.
I'm back. I'm not sure what I did, but I'm back. So here's the chair.
Perfect.
And this chair
So
will allow, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
This chair will, I use mine to go hunting. I love to hunt, and with an amputation and an issue with my right ankle, it's starting to get hard for me to walk around the woods. But I can go through the mud. I can go to the beach with my family. And the veteran that we actually gave one to is a 74-year-old Air Force veteran who just wanted something so he could go in his yard and he could go dove hunting. And the wheelchair that he had would not allow him to do that. So we decided we wanted to help him get a chair. And like I said, we were fortunate enough to be able to get the chair ordered, made, and here to surprise him just from our sponsors that we had for this event.
How excited was Patrick, Scott, when he got to see his new wheelchair?
He was really surprised, and what's crazy about it is one of the things that we try to address is pointing out awareness of issues for veterans, and he actually was not. We had it all set up for him to be able to be surprised with the chair. He wasn't going to know that it was here. And about 45 minutes before we were supposed to kick off, he contacted us and said, due to an issue that he was having with his vehicle, and he has a lift seat to get him in and out of his truck. He can't stand up at all. It was broke. It wouldn't work. And so we ended up having somebody deliver the chair to his house, and he was completely surprised and rode it around his yard just because he could.
That has to make your heart happy to know that 16 years ago, this all got started with, and I'll never forget, Scott, you talking about the prepaid phone cards that you would send to those serving overseas so they could call back home to their families. That's long before, you had like the cell phones and the digital kind of contacts that we have today. And now it has snowballed into being able to provide a $16,000 wheelchair or chair to be able to help a veteran have a better quality of life. Is it mind-boggling to you?
It is mind-boggling. We were actually talking this morning. Some people, there's certain people that I can count on that at some point during this event they're going to come and chat with me. And so one of those people showed up today, and we started talking about how far this event has come. We normally average, somewhere between $15,000 to $20,000 at this event. And so we knew that we were probably going to be able to get enough to do a chair, but to be able to possibly not just do the one chair, but to be able to do 2 chairs on an event that started just as an idea 16 years ago, that's now turned to work. We in the past, we've just been an event. Now we're our own 501c3. And we are, right now I'm bragging, I guess, but we are one of the only nonprofits out there that if you write a check and it says donation, or you give it to us as a donation, that 100% of that money goes to help veterans. We don't have a paid staff. Our events are paid for by sponsors. And like I said, we got enough sponsors at this event that we covered the cost of the event, and I could have left $16,000 sitting in the bank But we decided, why do that? Why not go ahead and buy a veteran a chair? And then that way we could raise more money to buy another veteran another chair.
So the good just keeps on going. Okay, now you're at the event. If they're over at supertalktv.com, they'll see you or listening to good things. Where are you?
We are at the Barnes Crossing Mall in the food court area. This is the one event that I do inside. We're actually doing this event in 5 different states this year, and this is the only one that I do inside. But because I get to do it inside, I have all these really cool raffle items that we're going to be giving away at the end of this year. But if you're in Northeast Mississippi and Tupelo, swing by the Barnes Crossing Mall, say hello. There's no telling. Look, we're giving away this year, I'm giving away a 1,400-pound steer. So we have 2 winners. Each one will get about 650 pounds of freshly processed beef. We've got a whole hog that we're giving away. Guns. I have lots of guns. Well, 3 guns. That's not a lot, but we have 3 guns and all kind of other cool stuff, furniture. I got an Ole Miss Lane Kiffin autographed football that we're giving away. And I am supposed to be receiving, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there, but if it happens, it's going to be great. I'm supposed to be receiving an autographed baseball from the College World Series. And as soon as that comes in, we're going to put that up for auction, which I think will be a good item to help us out. But we're just doing what we can to help fill the gaps where we can help fill them for veterans in need.
And organizations like yourself, as well as others I know throughout the state, Fifth Squad comes to mind. These great organizations for veterans are ones that when you say fill the gap, it just means they don't have to go through red tape to get the help. You can see a need and then you can fill it immediately. You don't have to necessarily fill out paperwork or go through all the different departments which do their part in helping veterans. But there's probably not, a program to help get this type of off-road vehicle for a veteran. Like that would have never happened without special projects and programs like 7 Days for the Troops.
Well, what we've tried to do is I've been a process or a subject, or however you want to say it, of the VA system since '95. I know how slow it can be. I know how much red tape there is. The veteran that we helped with this last year, the 74-year-old veteran, in any other group that's out there that's doing chairs for veterans would not have qualified. He's got MS. He was not injured in the military, but he was honorably discharged. He served honorably, and he is a veteran, but because of his MS, he needed that wheelchair. And so there would have been months and months of getting paperwork done and for him to get it any other way. And we were able to verify his credentials as far as who he was and the fact we don't want to give, a chair to a convicted felon, so we've done that research. But if you honorably served, in my opinion, and you need help, we want to be able to try to help you.
Now, normally, Scott, you're up and away and on a lift or something, sleeping for 7 days. What are you doing on the ground?
Well, because I'm inside the food court of the mall, for whatever reason, they will not allow me to put a porta-john on my tower. And so therefore, because I have to use the facilities in the food court, and I just had surgery done on my ankle. So it's kind of one of those things where climbing up and down the tower is probably not a wise idea right now. And so we're hanging out on the stage. But for 168 hours, I stay in the food court of the mall without leaving. I don't even leave the food court area. I go to the restroom that's in the food court. There's a carousel that's right behind my tower that I can't even ride. They keep offering me to ride it, but it's not inside the food court, so I have to stick here.
You mentioned this was going to be in other states. What other states are you taking 7 Days for the Troops to?
Well, we're going to Denver, Colorado, Statesville, North Carolina, working on one in Auburn University and in Oxford, which those two combined, if everything works out, it's going to be like I'm going to be in Auburn University for a week. I'm going to come home for a day, go to Ole Miss for a week, and then do a presentation at the Ole Miss Auburn game. And so that one, we're going to work on a chair for a child of a veteran.
Up to such good things. We've got a few questions for you on the text line. Scott, can you stick with us?
I can do it.
All right, we got more with Scott Burns, 7 Days for the Troops, coming up next. But take your browser too to supertalktv.com. We're continuing our conversation with Scott Burns. He's the founder of 7 Days for the Troops. He's on location there in Tupelo in the mall. How many days are you in on this stint, Scott?
This is day 3. So we're
4 more days.
Middle way of day 3. 4 more days.
Now, I noticed on your social media feed, Scott, that you've got a new, I guess, camping buddy that's hanging out there, understanding what you're trying to do, spending some time with you. Who's sharing in the suffering for all the right reasons?
Well, last night, my 8-year-old boy he stayed with me. He has stayed one night every year since he was 3. And then my daughter is 23, and she has stayed every night that I've done this event. Or every year that I've done this event, she has stayed at least one night with me. Even at the age of 22 last year, she still wanted to stay up at the mall with me one night. So it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, too, that you're instilling that value of service and that you can take one idea and you never know where it can lead. Again, this all started 16 years ago for you, Scott. You would have never known that this is where you would have been. Any idea how much money you have raised over the last 16 years for veterans?
Including what we've raised this year so far, we're a little over $266,000.
That's life-changing kind of cash.
It is life-changing, and we've given 100% of that away. We've given money to groups like Wounded Warriors, Purple Heart Homes, the Cell Phones for Soldiers program, the Marine Corps League, Warrior Bonfire, and we're just going to continue to do what we're doing. I told somebody today, I've got at least 4 more years of doing this, because when I went and hit that 16 year, like, I can't quit on year 17 or 18. I've got to go to 20. And so I know at least for that long, as long as I'm physically able, I'm still going to be doing 7 Days for the Troops. And hopefully by that time we've raised over $1 million and we've been able to help more veterans.
And then I feel like it will go into phase 2. It won't just fizzle out. People have just started to get to know what you're doing, what the events are sort of all about. But I can see you passing it on to maybe another generation or passing the baton to someone else for those 7 days. Chris in Boca Chica wants to know, how much does the chair cost, the off-road chair kind of cost? You had mentioned you raised enough money to potentially get 2. What's the cost of one of those chairs?
Well, we've raised enough to get 1, and they're $16,000. And that includes the chair and a lift to go on the back of the pickup truck for veterans that need that. So an average $15,000 to $16,000 to get the chair. And then our goal, like I said, is if we can raise another 16, we could be able to provide another chair. And there are other companies or groups that help veterans, like Independence Fund, that if I called them right now and I said, hey, we raised an extra $9,000 at our event in Tupelo. Is there a veteran in Tupelo that y'all have got in your waiting list that needs a chair? And we contributed it to that, would help them get that chair for that veteran faster. So, and that's our ultimate goal is to be able to help as many veterans, whether we're the full funding part of it or we're partial funding part of it. But that's what we want to do. And if somebody's like, hey, I can write a check for $16,000 and I want to be a part of this, I can give the text to donate number if that's okay.
Sure.
Which is, all you do is text the word donate to 662-502-5069. That's text the word donate to 662-502-5069. Or you can go to our website at 7daysforthetroops.com, and it's the number 7, daysforthetroops.org. Sorry, 7daysforthetroops.org. And all of those you'll see the stories of 7 Days for the Troops. And, going back to your comment about, somebody picking up the torch, when we decided to form our own 501c3, I really played with changing the name from 7 Days for the Troops. But it hit me that whether I'm staying on top of a tower for 7 days and 24 hours a day, or if there's just a need for 7 days, but veterans are always in need. There's always a need to be able to help. And so 7 Days for the Troops is something that we want to continue to do, to be able to help veterans every day, all day, And that's our goal, our mission for the next, as long as I'm physically able to do it.
Well, I don't see you stopping anytime soon, Scott, but you do still have 4 more days there in the Tupelo Mall. So if they come at any time that the mall is open, can they walk up and say hi, or are you out and signing autographs or taking donations or whatever it is that you're doing?
We're taking donations. I don't know that I've ever signed an autograph, but I would. And like if you want to go to our 7 Days for the Troops website, their link for the raffle items should be up on the website today. And you don't have to be present to win, but we have some really nice raffle items. We have a custom AR-15 that was made, serial number special for this event. I mean, the furniture that we have, the places to eat. I mean, we've got all kind of cool stuff. But at the end of the day, I've said this, I think, every time I've been on your show, and I don't want to get off the show today without saying this. You do not have to donate money to help somebody. Whether you're helping a veteran or you're helping your neighbor, help cut their yard. Just, take a glass of water to them if they're working outside in their yard. Just let's be nice to one another. And I think we would be a better people if we just all looked at each other and said, what can I do for my neighbor?
I totally agree with that. And if you see the needs, particularly in your own communities or neighborhood or churches where you have veterans, you can usually just ask what it is that you need, or just notice. Sometimes they're a little more built with pride or a little tougher. They may not tell you exactly their needs. But if you look hard enough, you can kind of see it, or just guess. Take them a meal, cut their yard, whatever it may be. Buy them an extra watermelon during these hot months and just deliver it because, that's always fun. And you bring up a good point. It doesn't take much to be kind to our neighbor, Scott. Well, I hope people are kind and come out and see you. Maybe you will get asked to have your first autograph today because of good things. You'll have to let me know.
That would be great. And I want to give out my cell phone number for anybody that says, hey, I have more questions that he didn't cover. Call me, 662-401-3349. That is my personal cell. I'll answer questions all day long. If you know of a veteran that's in need that might benefit from one of these chairs, let's start the process to get them as the next one on our list.
I think that's great, Scott. And I know that this will not be the last time that we talk to you. And I look forward to seeing how everything wraps up at the end of the week for you.
I'll let you know how the totals end up. Thank you for having us on the show again today.
Absolutely. 16th year there for 7 Days for the Troop. If you're in the Tupelo area, make sure you stop by and give him a holler. I would love if somebody would stop by and just ask him for his autograph. That's just letting him know that folks are listening and tuned in to us here